Stone vet, stone vet, stone vet, stone vet, stone vet, stone vet. The stone vet, the stone vet, the stone vet, the stone vet, the stone vet. I hit
Hey to you guys, man. I love that I get to do this, man. It's been a horrible week for me, dude. It's been not having my medicine's killing me. It honestly, it's hurting me. It's hurting my family right now, and it sucks, dude. This is why I'm fighting for the federal legalization of cannabis in our country right now. Trust me, I've been doing my share. I've been doing a lot of amazing things on my end, but I can't do it without your guys' help, without you guys advocating where you're at to say, hey, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this, man. I'm glad I'm here to do this because I think it was time for a counseling session. It's like I tell you guys, I do this every Friday to be able to get my counseling sessions in with my brothers and sisters that I've served with. You know, this is what it's about. I'm tired of having to go to therapists. I'm tired of therapists prescribing more medication, more medication, more medication. Like me, I tell you guys, I don't take any medications. I ain't completely off all pharmaceuticals now. It sucks, dude. I'm hurting. I'm hurting. I'm hurting. I'm hurting. But you know, it comes with the territory. I mean, I got to make sure I provide for my family, and I got to make sure they're taken care of. But there's a lot of things brewing in the Stone Vet's life right now. There's a lot of great, amazing opportunities coming up. You know, I'm super excited to be here on this Friday. Like I tell you guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I got over 200 viewers finally. I finally reached the 200 mark. I don't know how I'm getting over 2,200 views, but I only got 200 followers. Why is that, dude? Why are you guys not hitting that subscribe button? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Apparently on iTunes, you can leave me a 5-star review. I don't know. I don't play with iTunes a whole bunch. I'm not an Apple guy. I don't mess with Apple. But if you're over there, leave me a 5-star review. Tell me what you think, man. Like I said, on my YouTube channel, I comment on everybody that leaves a comment. I'll reply back to you, dude. I won't leave you hanging, you know. And like I tell you guys, come over to my Facebook page, the Stone Vet USMC, and come interact and hang out with my family, all my relatives. You come see how crazy we are and the things we're doing. We make things happen over there at the Stone Vet USMC, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I want to tell you guys a huge shout out to my sponsor, Rafa 180. You guys see it? I wear the hat. I got the cup. I wear the gear. Rafa 180 providing you 100% THC-free medicinal grade CBD. For you guys that have federal positions like myself, that get drug tested every 2 weeks like myself, you still need medicinal CBD. You still need a medicinal grade product, guys. Here in Oklahoma, like I tell you guys, Integris Hospital is a massive hospital here in Oklahoma, and every bit of the products that Rafa 180 carries on their website is the same stuff that the hospitals carry on their pharmacy shelves. Like I tell you guys, if you guys are looking for a medicinal grade product and you know your endocannabinoid system, if you don't understand the endocannabinoid system, go over to nih.gov. They'll tell you, they have a whole breakout of the endocannabinoid system and the importance of the endocannabinoid system. Go over there, check out rafa180.com, and like I tell you guys, when you go to check out the Stone Vet USMC, get 15% off your entire purchase, dude. That's a hell of a deal, man. Christmas coming close. You need to start getting some stocking stuffers, dude. They got some amazing products to introduce CBD. If you are an advocate like me, you know the benefits of CBD, of a good quality CBD as well, man. Go over there, check out the amazing things. They also got some cool bath bombs, lotions, lip balms. You name it, they got it, dude. Like I said, hands down, the best stuff, top of the line products, man. Check out rafa180.com. When you go to check out with the Stone Vet USMC and get 15% off your entire purchase, dude. That's better than your 10% veteran discount. Thanks, guys, for coming out, hanging out with me today, man. Today I got another Air Force veteran with me. Super excited. You gotta love these Air Force people. But you know, it is what it is. But I love them. I love them, man. I love them, man. I got Jamie here with me today, man. How you doing, Jamie? How's your week been going so far?
Oh, hey, thank you so much for having me here. I'm excited. I always have great weeks. I have great days all day, every day. Mindset, baby.
It is, dude. It is. My mental health has gone to shit lately, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. You know, I'm actually going to go buy me a membership for the Y so I can start going to the gym and hitting weights again, because I haven't hit weights in like 2 years, and I need to get out. I got to do something. It sucks, dude. It sucks. It sucks, man. So that's good. I'm glad you're in a good place. I'm glad you're here. Maybe you can help me get in a good place, right? That's what it's about,
Yeah,
supporting each other
man,
and
for
helping each other,
real.
right? You know, that's what it's about, supporting
That's
each other. Right?
right. That's what we
So you spent
do.
some time in the Air Force, huh, Jamie?
I did. And I didn't spend time in my chair the whole time. I volunteered to go down range. I wanted to do my time and earn my stripes.
Right, right,
And
right.
yeah, man,
So
I went in the air. Go ahead.
go ahead. No, tell us your journey. Tell us why the Air Force. How long you spent. What you did while you was in the Air Force. Let people know who you are and why they need to listen
All
to you.
right, all right, all right. I actually grew up in a podunk town in Farmington, Missouri, and it was super tiny. And I knew from a young age, I got to get out of here, man. I'm bigger than this,
Like all of us that joined the military.
Exactly. Yeah, the dysfunction. There's got to be more out there, and I didn't have money to go to college. I didn't have money to do what other kids had the opportunity to do. I didn't know about scholarships. I mean, I did,
Right.
but nobody talked. I didn't know.
Right, right, right.
So I didn't even consider the military until I took the ASVAB, which I didn't even know what that test meant either when I was taking it in high school. I'm like,
Right.
okay, whatever. And I get a call from an Army recruiter. Well, all the Army recruiter did was bash the Air Force. He didn't tell me what the Army could do. I'm like, oh, okay. So then when I went into the Air Force, the dude was excited. He told me what, the Air Force was. And I was like, okay. So my sister said, listen to me, Jamie. If nothing else in your life, if you don't do this, you've got to get out of here. Mom is not going to pay for your college. She's going to use it as a manipulation tool, just big sister being big sister. She goes, you've got to do this. I was like, that's what's up, And so I went at 18, like, can we cuss on here, or can we be veterans?
Yeah, no, you can cuss. We're veterans. That's what we do. This
way.
Oh,
Okay, cool. So I didn't want to spurt it out. So so I went after
talk like we sitting on the block. Talk like we sitting on the couch together.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Just like that. That's what it's supposed to be.
Right.
We hanging out. We enjoying our time together with each other.
Fuck yeah. So I went in, scared as the fuck, man. You're like, what in the fuck did I get into? Because the second you get off the bus, drop your bags, pick them up, drop your bags. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? This is bullshit in my mind. At the same time, scared and.
Right.
I don't
fucking
know.
But I mean, it was Air Force boot camp. I was just listening to Will Daughtry not too long ago. If you don't know Will, I've had Will on my show. He's a libertarian. He's an Air Force libertarian guy. I just had him on my show not too long ago, and he said some shit like that. He said, "Man, Air Force boot camp." I said, "I don't want to hear it, dude. Wait, you didn't get your ice cream when you got off the bus? Like, you didn't get your ice cream sundae? Say welcome to boot camp? You know what I'm saying?" I was like, "Shut up, dude. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear your you yelled at me type crap." That's the Air Force boot camp, guys. Come on now, you gotta be kidding me.
When I think about that, our only thing was like put your bags down and pick them up. It was the monotony of the bullshit,
Right, absolutely.
And but it wasn't scary. It wasn't difficult. It wasn't. I did not know, though, the reputation that the Air Force had with other branches, because I thought it was the prestigious, business one. That's the one I wanted to be. I wanted to be a badass, but anyway, what do I know at 18, right?
Right.
I didn't know shit. I'm a little girl.
Right.
Anyway, man, I'm so glad I did. I got to my first base was the one I chose, which I was stupid and chose Missouri like a dumbass.
You went back home? What the fuck?
Yeah, I didn't know. I was scared, right? I'm dumb, right? So anyway, after I found out about Korea, see, Air Force, if you volunteer to go overseas to Korea for a year, you get a guaranteed follow-on to Germany, whatever you want after.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so I chose, Kunsan, Osan, whatever.
Right,
so,
right.
And I fucking got it. So I was only at my first base, 2 years, which I thought was long enough. I went over to Korea, and I had a roommate there. We were in a room, and I had a roommate, and one of an Army chick told me, she goes, man, where are you staying at? I said, over there, whatever medical dorms were. I was in medical field.
Okay.
And,
that's what I was to ask. I was about to ask you what your AFSC was. AFSC. I know this shit. I know this stuff. I work for the Air Force, and I hate it every day. I hate the Air Force.
Yeah, man.
I'm a damn nerd.
And
so you're a medical
she
supply.
Told me how great. Yeah, medical supply. Yeah, medical logistics. I knew all the shit, could get all the shit, could trade all the shit downrange. And
Right. Of course.
it was, yeah. But this girl told me, she goes, you're at that chow hall that has the best food or whatever. Cause we had multiple chow halls on base. And
Right.
I was like, what? And she goes, yeah, you guys have the best dorms. I said, it's old and I share it with somebody. What do you mean the best? She goes, you have a shower, right? I said, yeah, of course. Like, of course we have a shower that we don't share with 12 other people. Like, what are you saying right now? So I didn't realize until, like, in Korea, where people were talking about how good I had it. And then, I was getting to be around our Marines and Army, that was fun. Being a single female in the military is, it's fun. And I grew up in a small town. Like, I heard Biggie for the first time at 19. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, what? I never saw Black people. I didn't see, I didn't grow up.
He's one of those
with
redneck
Mexicans
kids that grew up in the backwoods.
And yes. So I got to see all these people and all these different styles. And I was like, wow, this is fun.
Right.
Everybody joked around. There was no judging. Nobody was better than the other person.
Right.
We were all in the same boat. We all walked to the chow hall together. We all walked in our dorms together. We went to the gym together. It's just, what a huge thing for me to have, not
absolutely
growing up.
I mean, for you to be culture shocked to see all this, you're like, what is all this, right? For you, I mean, but that's not your fault. That's where your family took you to take you away from everything, where you're not aware of everything that's going on, and I think that's one of the biggest struggles that we have as veterans, is that during that time you were associating with everybody, right? It was a culture shock for you to be working with everybody, right? But then you go to get out and it's like everybody doesn't like everybody. Everybody does their own shit, and you have to try to wedge your way in there if they allow you to go in there, right? That's one of the biggest struggles that we have, dude.
That's exactly it.
It sucks, It sucks. It sucks. I mean, that's why I do this show, because that's one of the biggest struggles that I found with my community, with you guys, is that we don't have any camaraderie with anybody. We get out and we're like, why the fuck don't nobody talk to me? Why don't nobody hang out with me? And it sucks when you find a cool ass veteran and then they don't talk to your ass either, and you're like, motherfucker, dude, like, what did I do? Am I not that likable? Like, I tell my wife all the time. I tell my wife and my kids know I'm not a likable person, I am not a likable person, I tell people, I joined boot camp at 17 years old. I was 17 and a half years old when I joined boot camp, My birthday's in June. I had my 17th birthday in June. I went to boot camp in January. So I was 17 years old, 17 and a half years old when I joined. So I tell people, I said, my mama and my daddy is Marine Corps. That's who raised me to be who I am today. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I tell people, and my wife tells me, she's like, you are not a likable person. But when people like you, they really truly like you because of who you are and why you are the way you are. And I tell people, I said, trust me, I know I'm not a likable person, but don't entice me to think that you like me, and then when I go to start talking to you and start hanging out with you and start bullshitting with you, and you turn your shoulder on me, you give me a cold shoulder, I'm like, oh, you know what? Go fuck yourself. I don't have time for you. I don't have time for that shit. If I need you, I need you, and I need you to be there when I need you, And a lot of people don't understand that, But whenever you lead me on to believe one thing and you're not there when I need you, I tell you, go fuck yourself. I'm done. I don't need you. I don't need that. I don't need that. I already have enough bad shit going on in my life. I don't need more bad shit. Like I tell people, when I bring you in, you're part of the club. When you backstab me, you're getting out of the club. I still want to see you eat. I still want to make sure you're taken care of. But I'm not going to do it.
You dare
I'm not going to do it. Right. I'm not going to do it from you. I'm not going to do it for you no more. You know what I'm saying? I want to see you eat, but you're not eating at my table anymore, And that's my biggest thing, So how long were you in the Air Force for?
8 years.
So you did 8 years. So, you did 2 enlistments. I was in for 9.
Yeah.
So, well, technically, I tell people 9 years, but technically it says I was in for 8 years, 10 months, and 9 days. I was like, I was in for 9 years. Fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Why they have to do that? I like accuracy, but come on, dude, you do that shit on purpose for some reason. Why couldn't I just get 9 years?
Right. It is what it is. Whatever. Anyway. You know what I'm saying? But But during your time, I mean, you did 8 years. You got to go to Korea, right? Where else?
Yep.
After Korea, where'd you go? When Korea was up, where'd you go?
Germany.
You went to
I went
Germany.
to Germany, smack dab in the middle of Europe, man.
Yeah, and I hear
It
that's a
was
great place to be.
fantastic.
Especially
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
growing
the
up in a small little
beer.
podunk town in Missouri. I bet that was a fuck. You were like, holy shit.
Yeah. Well, I had actually gone to Russia my senior year of high school. I got a scholarship to go
Oh
because
wow.
I was poor as fuck. And yeah, I
Right,
had a
right.
teacher fight for me to go.
Wow.
But I knew then I wanted to travel. So being in Europe again in Germany, I was like, the beer, the food, the pastries, the the culture, I mean, I don't know. It's just everything. It's
Right.
everything to be able to experience that and
Right, because it
get
is. I
to
mean,
meet even more people.
right. No, absolutely. Because in the military, that's one thing. That's one thing. Air Force travels everywhere. You guys are fucking stationed everywhere. You got bases everywhere around the world. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know.
And so you guys are able to travel and see a lot of things and do a lot of things that you wouldn't be able to do as a regular civilian, right? Growing up, like you said, I grew up in a
Nope.
small podunk town. I didn't have no money. I grew up poor as shit, and all I knew were white people and country. That's all I knew, right? No, trust me. I live in Oklahoma, so I know.
We play
I know what you mean.
spoons for instruments.
You know what I'm saying? I live in Oklahoma, so I grew up in Oklahoma City, in the Oklahoma City area, and so I knew, I grew up in the roughs. I grew up in the ghettos. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with the ghettos. I grew up with all the minorities. And my thing was when you saw a white person, you're like, "What the hell are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. This is not your side of town type thing." But I mean, for you, I mean, you grew up in a small country girl, right? You was a small country girl, right? What fucking population's probably like 200 people, and everybody knows
Well, it was
everybody.
2,000, 5,000 or something
You
like
know what I'm
that.
saying? But I mean, everybody knew everybody. You couldn't get away with anything, right?
Yes.
Which sucks. But I mean, for you to join, I mean, so when it came time, why did you say after 8 years? Why did you say I'm done? I'm not doing this no more.
Um, I was married at the time and we missed our first anniversary because I was deployed in Kuwait when the war kicked off in
Back,
03.
back in you were out there in '03 too.
Yeah,
That's where I
yeah.
was. I was
And
out there in '03 too.
yep, it was insane, Kuwait, and they hadn't built that base up yet. So I was there
Yeah.
with the army, and I was like, "What in the living fuck is this? What the fuck? They expect me to live with this slop? Like I helped the army like serve their. I was like, what the fuck is this?" So I found out eventually the good chow hall was literally on the other side of the tracks, on the other side of the flight line. I'm like, let's go. Yeah, it was cool though because I wanted to do my time. I wanted to be there, like
Right. No, absolutely.
anyway.
So you joined. What year did you join? What year did you join the Air Force?
96.
'96. Okay, so you was way before. Yeah, you were way before the invasion. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Gen Xer, man.
There you
Yep.
go. There you go. Yeah, no
Yeah.
lie. See, I joined in '01 and then deployed in
So
'03.
8 years, got out. Oh, '03. Where was I in '03? I was in Idaho. Was that my last station? Idaho. I was in Idaho in '03. Yeah. Oof.
Damn,
Oh.
that's
That seems like a
crazy.
lifetime ago.
It
But
was. It
like
does seem.
yesterday.
Right. No, absolutely. So you got out. You was married. What did y'all decide to finally get out of the military? Is that what happened?
Yeah. And we were still geographically separated, and I was like, enough is enough. He worked in Intel and he was already stationed, so he was in Florida. So I just got out of Idaho to go be with him. We got out.
Okay.
So
So you got out to go be with him. Then is what happened.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. And how'd that work out for you?
So we could be together geographically.
Right.
And
How was that transition when it was time to you get out? How was that transition for you when you were getting out of service?
oh my
Like,
gosh.
what was that like for you? What kind of service did they provide for you when it was time to get out?
Well, I wish I would have known about the union, like electrician or something like that.
Right.
That would have been nice to be informed about because that could have been a career path a secure one that I could have taken had I had that information. I'm not going to dwell on that. I'm just answering your question.
Yeah.
Do not feel I had enough information to get out. You know, I
No,
don't.
absolutely.
They were like, okay, you're out. Go get unemployment in Oregon because they pay more than Idaho. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then I moved to Florida, and I was out of fucking control. I was out of control.
Right,
Just
right. No, no, that's absolutely true, man. Because you got to figure this way. So I had Brandon Harris on my show not too long ago. He's one of my first guests that I had on the show. Brandon Harris is another jarhead like myself. He actually has a business to help people transitioning out of active duty service, right? Because like you and
mm-hmm.
the other 200,000, so approximately 200,000 veterans get out of active duty service. 200,000 people every year get out of active duty service, right? And like you, they say the same thing. I wasn't given the opportunity to know what was out there for me when I got out. Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
if somebody would have told you about the union, plumbing, HVAC, welding, all that shit, it helps you get established, right? It helps you get established in what could be a beneficial to transition out of active duty service. You know, I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
about any of that stuff either, but I've been like I watch a lot of podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts because, like I said, if you're not into my podcast, it's cool. I understand that, but there are thousands of veteran podcasts out there that you could listen to that could be very, very, very beneficial to you. You know, I didn't
Right.
know about
Well,
the
when I
union
got
stuff,
out, we didn't have that. We didn't have Facebook groups. We didn't have
right?
social media platforms.
Right.
We relied on what we were told.
What we
And
were
the
told,
here's your folder
right? Right, and it
and your DD
sucks.
form 214.
And that sucks because of simple fact. Because for like me, they send me to a 2 week class and said, "Here you go. Go to the 2 week class before you get out of service, and it's supposed to
Oh,
help
there
you."
might have done a
You
one
know,
day class.
something right? There's something in there,
Right.
but but like I said, it's supposed to get your disability started, get everything you need to get established so you can get out to help, right? And it sucks, dude. It truly and honestly, it sucks when you're trying to figure out what the hell do I do now that my time has came to an end. Because like you, it's like I tell everybody, man. Like I was telling you earlier, I was talking to Joshua David Lenny not too long ago from Karma Corps, and that's one of the things we talked about. Is that look, you go to boot camp, it's so many weeks, and then in the Marines you go to another boot camp for 2 extra weeks, and then after that you go to your MOS school, your tech school, and that's however long, 3 months to a year, and then you go into the fleet, right? So you done spent a year in training to be this service member, whether you're an airman, a guardian, freaking Coast Guard guy, a Navy guy, or a Marine, whatever. You go to boot camp and you go to school, and they're training you how to be the active duty service member you're supposed to be for whatever branch you're in, right? And then you go into the fleet, and now you're learning how to be the active duty service member you're intended to be while providing the service back to your country. But when it comes time for you to get out, there's nothing there to show you how to be a civilian again. There's nothing there to say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
Jamie, this is who you were before you joined. This is how you need to transition to get back if you want to be the same person you are, right? When you go in the military, like I said, Jamie tell you, there's a lot of different cultures. You meet a lot of different people, and a lot of different people are raised a lot of different ways, right? Like I tell everybody, the Marine Corps is my mama and my daddy. I was 17 when I joined, and I was 25 when I got out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So that's my mama and my daddy. And so when people talk to me, they're like, "What is wrong with you? What do you mean? What's wrong with me? This is who I am. This is what I do. This is what I've always done. Is it the right
Mm-hmm.
way? Probably not, but it's my way. It's how I do
It's
this. It's
your
what I
way.
do. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks to hear that, Jamie. Like you said, you weren't informed. You weren't given enough information. This is where the government fails us, right? This is where the government fails us. They fail us every day. The government fails us every day. Everybody in Congress fails us every
Mm-hmm.
day. And our own military failed us when it was time for us to transition out because they're to the point where they think, oh, you don't want to work with me no more? Okay, get out of here. Then I don't need you, right? Because, like I tell people in the military, bodies come and go every day. Somebody's gonna fill
Mm.
your spot. Somebody's gonna backfill your position any day. They care less what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks, dude. It
Mm-mm.
sucks like that. So when you got out,
Mm-hmm.
when you got out of active duty service, you got out and you wanted to go be with your spouse because you said you were geographically in different locations, right? You wanted to go be with your spouse,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
What happened? So that was when did you get out?
04. August of 04,
2004.
right? Yep.
Au-
04.
August of '04
Yep.
is when you got out of service, and so now it's 2021. what has happened since you got out to today? Like what not don't tell me every fucking year, but like
Right.
like give us some insight about where life has taken you since you've gotten out of service.
Well, the layoff affected us. Getting a job wasn't too difficult. I feel blessed that I was able to find that, my first civilian job. The recession for us was impacted me. I lost my job. I lost my husband. I lost everything. Starting all over again. You have the VA hospital, but which I was a good girl, right? I took the pills they gave me and they told me I would be better. Went to the therapy session. I did everything that I was told to do. If you do this, things are going to happen. You go to college, you know, go to the military, you do all these things. So I had no jobs in the United States. I still have all the 300 jobs that I applied for from 2008 until I said, I'm going to go back overseas. I'm going to go to Afghanistan. I'm going to serve my country even more.
Right.
And that felt safer to me. I got all their shots they wanted. I did everything the FDA and the government asked me to do. I got the anthrax 6 series to go to Kuwait. I did everything, surrendered, submitted my body to them to trust them. I did everything they asked me to do. Gladly, proudly. So coming back from Afghanistan and the loss that I had, and I never grieved or mourned because you just go. You don't let things stop you. You go and go and go and go. And you don't know that 30 beers and 12 shots a night and being 200 pounds at the time is your PTSD.
Right.
But it is.
No, absolutely.
So
because,
I struggled.
That's one of the things we talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, one of the things the military has trained us to do is to cut our emotions, right? Like me personally, I struggle every day. You can talk to my wife. I've been with my wife. We're going on 22 years this April. You can talk to her and she'll tell you. She's like, you are not emotionally connected to shit. I said, I don't know how. Like, I don't, because when I was, like I said, the Marine Corps is my mama and my daddy. They told me, if you become emotionally connected to something, you're going to die. Plain and simple. You have to go through, you have to run through, and you have to go through it, right? And it sucks. And like you sit here crying. You have emotions. We have emotions, and a lot of us have them more than others. But for me, they cut that emotional They severed that nerve to be emotional.
Yeah, you check that shit at the door.
Right? Absolutely. Like you said, you aren't given you have never sat and grieved. You know what I'm saying? I said a lot of people don't know, but a lot of some of my followers do know, some of them don't. But I had my son. My son was 8. My son, we just celebrated his 18-year anniversary. He passed away 4 months after I got back from Iraq back in 2003. So I was there for the invasion. He was born 2 weeks later. They shipped me out. Luckily, my deployment was super short. I'm blessed that it was as short as it was. I took an Air Force deployment. It was a 4-month deployment, you know, and I was blessed. Honestly, I was blessed because 4 months after I got back, my son passed away. He went to be with the Lord, and I've never grieved that. I still don't grieve it. You know, I think about it every day, you know, like my wife said, she's like, you have no emotional connection. I said, I honestly don't. If my mom or my dad or my brothers or my sisters died today, you have to go on, right? That's how I look at it. Does it suck? It sucks. But you have to go on, right? Because life doesn't stop. Life's not going to stop.
Nope.
And it sucks. I hate that. I hate not knowing what it's like to cry. You know, I hate not knowing what it's like. It
feels amazing in front of a whole bunch of people.
No, it does. I got a brother down in Texas. He's a Marine. You would never guess he was a Marine. He's all sensitive and into himself and emotions, but he's gone through a journey. He goes through journeys. He just spent like 3 weeks in Peru finding himself, climbing the mountains, swimming the rivers, jumping off waterfalls, finding himself, because you have to do things like you have to find therapy some way, somehow.
Mm.
I preach it, but I don't practice it, which is my fault, right? Which is my fault. But you sitting here emotionally crying because you are feeling it. You felt what it was like to lose everything, right?
Mm.
And you were still like, I didn't have anybody. I didn't have anything.
Nope.
You know?
Nope.
And it sucks. And it's okay to cry. It is. It literally is okay to cry. I'm not going to make fun of you. You know? I hate that.
I don't care if you do. I'm okay with it.
You know, absolutely. So you said you lost everything, right? You had lost everything. You deployed back to Afghanistan, working as a contractor, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
did you go to Afghanistan after you had lost everything here?
We would like to give a huge thanks to Rafa 180. Rafa 180 offers pure medicinal CBD and products made locally. They walk alongside individuals to achieve a healthy lifestyle with options needed by each person. You can learn more about them on Facebook at Rafa CBD, their website www.rafa180.com, or email at rafacbd@gmail.com. They truly believe your journey matters.
Wasn't it though? It was just the rejection. You're overqualified. Nobody wanted to hire me because my veteran status, the experience, and the education. I had a bachelor's degree and all these things. I couldn't get hired because nobody wanted that. You won't stay with us. To get that rejection. I'm like, I'm overqualified. Are you fucking kidding me? But what if I help us overcome that because of my experience? Right. I was pulling out all the stops, but went to Afghanistan. I came back, and then I had lost everything even more. Foreclosed on, and then they got to bailed out, and they got to resell my house and make that money. Bank of America or Wells Fargo did it, so that was cool.
Right.
That's when I lost him. I had to leave. I ran away from Florida then. I had to go. So I looked for Colorado. I looked for anywhere I could go where there was weed and opportunity.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Colorado had both those things for me.
Absolutely. So you mentioned cannabis. So we all know here, Sergeant G is a massive advocate for the use of cannabis, right? A lot of people are like, you just gonna get high. Do I like to get high? You fucking right, I do. But you guys don't understand the medicinal benefits of the terpene profiles, the medicinal benefits of the endocannabinoid system it has on the endocannabinoid system. Understanding when you're able to use both CBD and THC together to find the euphoric harmony that they play on your body on a regular basis to help energize you, to help get your mind right when you're in the gutter, right? A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people turn to alcohol. As veterans, we're fucking alcoholics. We become alcoholics.
I know, we are addicts to the core.
To the core, we are complete alcoholics when it comes to it, because that's what we can get our hands on. It's free. It's right there. It's easy to get a hold of, right?
Yep.
And so, not understanding the medicinal benefits of cannabis is what's killing me. But this is why I do this show, to help educate, to help intrigue you guys that are wondering, can it work for me? Right now, I can tell you, yes, it can work for you. This is why I bring other advocates on my show, like Jamie herself. Look at her flag in her background, dude. It's a beautiful flag. Dude. You can't get wrong with it. I love it, dude. I love it. But she's an advocate. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you just a stoner. You just gonna get stoned. You do that." I don't want to hear it, dude. Until you can understand how to use the medicinal plant, how you can use it to benefit you when it comes to work, when it comes to taking care of your kids, when it comes to just life in general, when you know how to use it and how to use it right, distinguishing between the sativas, the indicas, the hybrids, the CBDs, the CBGs, the CBNs, understanding how it can work and how it can actually allow you to focus on what you have going on right in front of you, instead of worrying about the bills you didn't pay, instead of worrying about the dog at the clinic, instead of worrying about your girlfriends, your boyfriends. When you can smoke a good strain and it allows you to focus on what you're dealing with right in front of you instead of the 8,700 things going on all around you, don't come to me and tell me it's not good for you, because I'm going to spit in your face and tell you you've been lied to, because you have been, right? So you saying you yourself, Jamie, you are an advocate for cannabis, right? You're an advocate
yeah.
for what it can do and its medicinal benefits, right? So
Yes.
why all of a sudden are you going to Colorado to use cannabis? What is the reasons behind it?
At the time in Florida, you could go to prison, not jail, not a fine, prison for 1 gram of weed. I don't know if you people know what that is. Please go find out how much tiny. This isn't even 1 gram. This half of a joint that I have, this is it. Like, it is so fucking tiny. It's bullshit. Well, that might be 1 gram, but my point is for minuscule amounts. So I had to go where it was legal and accessible.
Right. Right. No, absolutely. And with that being said, I mean, apparently you were aware of what cannabis can do, right? That's why you're going to Colorado, right?
Oh, right. And
Right.
I think you hit on some things. It's not necessarily the THC amount, the percentage that people get so hooked on. It
Always.
is the cannabinoids and the terpenes itself. It's all parts of the plant. The sum of all its parts create, like you were saying, the synergy to work with your cannabinoids that you already have. We have them in our bodies. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm taking my supplements. My body needs to be refueled, resupplied, and redone with all the yumminess that cannabis has to offer. Now, if you go to a grocery store and you take a box off the shelf, okay, you got to open the box, open the package, pour the food, throw that shit away. With cannabis, holy shit, you get to eat the leaves and the stem and the plants and the flower, and you don't have to throw none of that away. I crush that shit in my coffee. I fucking smoke it. I put it in my smoothies. I put it on top of my stuff. I put it on my face. I put it on my breasts, my hemp oil. I take care of my life is cannabis. Yeah.
Right. No,
yeah, I sleep with that shit.
Absolutely.
So
that's what a lot of people, this is why I do the show, though, is to help educate people on the medicinal benefits of cannabis. You guys just, the stigma that the government provided by the U.S. government, the stigma that it gave you is the war on drugs. The war on drugs. You know why they said that? Because they couldn't make no money off of it. That's why they said that, right? That's why they said
I know.
that. And it's sad. It's sad because you can go to the store and get you a 6-pack. You can go to the store and get you a 5th of whatever you like, your poison that you like to drink. But God forbid I go buy me a gram of weed. You can't even roll a joint with a gram of fucking weed, dude. You can't even roll a full
I can barely roll a joint anyway.
You know, but I'm just saying, though, understanding the medicinal benefits, this is why I tell you guys, I need you guys to go out there and advocate. Like I said, even with the federal legalization and the stirring right now, it still states that if your state doesn't allow it, then you can't use it in your state, which is ridiculous, right? Yeah. This is why I tell you guys, you have to go poke your bear. Like Dawn Ann, I had Dawn Ann on the show not too long ago. She's a caregiver out of Michigan, and that's one of the biggest things. That's what she told me. She's like, you got to poke the bear. You got to let the bear know that you're there. And so if your state doesn't allow for cannabis, whether adult use or medicinal, you're failing your state, and you're failing your brothers and your sisters that need this medicine. No brother or sister that takes high blood pressure medicine, fucking diabetics that have to take their shots on a regular basis, if they cross state lines with that medicine, they're not going to get in trouble, right? But God forbid I leave Oklahoma and go down to Texas, go to Missouri, go to Kansas, and I got an 1/8 of weed with me, an eighth of my medicine with me,
right?
And I get pulled over, and they want to send me to jail and give me a ticket for having
3.5 grams.
3.5 grams. Just for me to go, just for me to have my medicine. If I get in trouble for that, I'm going to be pissed, and I'm going to fight, because that's what I do, right? Everybody knows Marines are crazy as shit, and you got that right. We don't back down. If you tell me no, I'm going to find out why you're telling me no. You better have a damn good reason why you're telling me no. And so this is why I'm fighting for the federal legalization. It's like I told you guys. I've gone to the Oklahoma GOP here at my level, and ensure that my politicians have an understanding as to why it's important they vote yes for the federal legalization of cannabis across the whole country.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care if I go to a state and you don't allow it, and you guys haven't been advocating for that state, I'm coming after you guys because I'm going to be pissed. Because if I get to that state, if I have to take my family to that state, and you guys aren't out there advocating for it at the Capitol on a regular basis to ensure that it gets on a state, if it gets on the state ballot for legalization, I'm going to be upset. I got brothers like David Bass in Texas fighting on a regular basis. He just got the teacup approved for people who suffer from cancer and PTSD. Granted, it's not that much. You cannot have that much, but it's a start. You have to start somewhere. It's a start. Mm-hmm. It's there. So guess what? Now you have to keep pushing it, and you keep pushing it, and you keep pushing it, right? And so you said you went to Colorado so you can have your medicine, right? You went there because it's federally it's legal there. You can have it anywhere. It's adult use in Colorado, right? And so one of the stories you're telling me about your son, correct?
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and tell the people a little bit about your family, your son?
All right. So I did meet someone else. We were friends, and so that's how my baby was produced. It wasn't by the one I had lost. Anyway, so which was a surprise, and so I got pregnant with him in 2011, and he was born in 2012. And within 6 weeks, they do a newborn screening. They poke the heel. It's called a PKU test. And they do it in 50 states. And I got a phone call saying that they think he might have a metabolic issue. Please come back in for another test, for sure. So I did that. And they called me back. And I could tell already by the tone of the voice, it was pretty scary. And they said, your son has cystic fibrosis. And I said, well, what is cystic fibrosis? And well, it's a lung and digestive disorder. It does affect all the organs. Mucus can fill the lungs. They cannot excrete their mucus and breathe like you and I can in the lungs, right? So it's lung complications and digestive. They cannot absorb food the way you or I would. They need enzymes. They don't produce the enzymes that are in our bodies. And their DNA is mutated. Chromosome 7 is mutated. Wow. I say that for a reason. Another beautiful thing about him. But that was devastating. I'd lost my home, a husband, a friend. I'd lost a healthy son who I thought was healthy to a sick one now. And I didn't know anything about cystic fibrosis. Nobody knew I smoked cannabis. I couldn't tell them now he has a lung disease. You know, what kind of fucking piece of shit mom am I for fucking smoking cannabis with a son with a lung disease? What the fuck is wrong with me? So I threw myself into a business, whatever. 5 years later, I'm doing everything these motherfuckers told me to do, giving him the enzymes. Now, I wasn't giving him all this other bullshit they told me to. They wanted me to feed him 50 fucking pills a day and all this bullshit and breathing treatments and holding him down in a vest that shakes him and vibrates him and, you know, basically torture chambers set up for my son, putting shit over his face. Anyway, he developed liver damage at 5 years old. 5 years old, which means that his liver is failing. His liver is deteriorating. I fucking did what you told me to do. Why is my son's liver failing?
Right.
Well, it's cystic fibrosis. Fucking no, it's not. You know what their solution was? To give me an FDA-approved drug that failed the liver, decreased liver function, vomiting, headaches, diarrhea, all the symptoms of cystic fibrosis is the drug they wanted me to give my son for this. But enough. I was in Colorado. They didn't even want to discuss CBD with me. Wouldn't even fucking discuss it with me. In Colorado, CBD for my son. All right. So I took CBD and limonene Limonene is great for liver and digestive function. One
Limonene
drop, dude.
is a terpene, people. This is what I keep telling you about. Terpenes in your flower. Go ahead.
Love limonene. One drop twice a day. One drop. Boop, boop. 3 months. His liver enzymes, they were 4 times the normal limit. They never told me this. I didn't know about liver enzymes. I didn't know everything about cystic fibrosis.
Right.
They decreased 30% in 3 months. His lung function increased 18%. His glucose levels dropped 13 points. Of all the fucking drugs they want to give my son, none of them promised to do that what CBD did with limonene. Not fucking one. You know what they told me? Oh, did you take Ursodol, the drug? I'm like, yeah, sure did. Because I'm not going to tell them, right? I fear that they're going to take my son away from me. A lot of CF moms are. A lot of mothers of cystic fibrosis. So plants fucking healed my son. I was like, hashtag no fear this year is my motto. That's my mantra. And ever since then, since 2017, I have been researching even more about cystic fibrosis. I got strong. I have a page, the Hempuralist. I wrote a book. I'm a published author about the basic things of cannabis. Learning even more about superfoods. His mutated gene, chromosome 7, do you guys know what DNA is made of? Amino acids and proteins. Do you know what hemp is made of? Amino acids and proteins. The amino acids my son is missing, and I get so excited about this.
That's awesome. I'm getting chills right now. You guys can't see I'm getting chills right now.
The molecular structure of our DNA and hemp are so similar, and that's why I call them supplements. They are literally nourishing my son's DNA. They are replenishing his lack that he has. His body is able to do that with plants, not boxes of food, not dyes, not preservatives. So to not live in that fear anymore, to not be afraid of that.
Right.
It's just,
no, that's outstanding. Son. That's absolutely outstanding. This is what I tell you guys. This is why I come on this show. This is why I do this show. I love this right here. This is what it's about, people. This is exactly what it's about. And what I tell you guys, you have to educate yourself, right? The poisons that our country is feeding us every day, dude, we dying every day. It's like they say, it's they make more money off of our sickness. That's why pharmaceuticals are so important to this country, because that's who pays the politicians. That's who pays all those people sitting in the White House. That's who pays the peoples that run this country. This is what I tell you guys. You have to educate yourself on the medicinal benefits of cannabis. The leaves, the terpenes, like she said, limonene. Did you know that? Limonene is just one of the multiple terpenes in the cannabis plant. That's just one terpene. There are hundreds of terpenes. That's why they all do something different. Limonene, I didn't know it did that. I didn't know it helped with liver function. Limonene helps with liver function. Yep. You got terpenes that help with anxiety.
Humulene helps with glucose levels. Yeah. Humulene is great for diabetics. Humulene and THCV, if you put those two together, if you're a diabetic, it can lower your glucose levels from the plant.
But this is all research that she's done. This is all research that Jaime has taken time out of her day to do, because she understands the importance of health, the importance of life here, right? She understands this, and this is what makes me so excited to have my brothers and sisters who are advocating for the legalization of a plant. How stupid does that sound, people? How stupid does that sound in our country, that a plant that grows outside is illegal? How retarded does that sound? What are you guys doing? Have you guys been intrigued today, dude? Jaime, this is freaking outstanding. I love to hear this, that you found your reason. You found your rhyme and reason. You're a published author now. You are telling people, look, it's true. Jaime, she's a hippie. You already know it. She's a fucking hippie. You already know she's a hippie. You already know it, dude. But she's talking about superfoods. If you guys don't know about superfoods, how are you supposed to live a good life? How are you supposed to get fit, trim, and lean? Dude, all that freaking protein, all the meats and stuff, dude, they're not good for you. You do plant-based diets, when you start understanding the plant-based diets that help you with your proteins, that help you with digestion, that help with mental health, that help with everything going on inside of your body that the military has screwed you up with. You fucking Rangers, Airborne, fucking Marines, Navy, all you guys that have done strenuous jobs, that have put your body through crap, that you hurt every day. Jamie can tell you about anti-inflammatory cannabis. Tell you how CBD is an anti-inflammatory and how it helps. How it helps with if you're inflamed. If you got GERD, how CBD can help with your GERD. How CBD can help with your anxiety, with your depression, getting yourself right, getting yourself to function for your family and your friends, to live a normal life. I put that in parentheses because what's normal? We don't know what normal is, but just to live life, dude, to not be in pain.
Can we live in peace?
To live in peace.
Mental
right?
peace.
Mental peace, right? Physical peace. Finding yourself, man. Like, that gave me chills, Jamie. Like, your story is awesome. I'm super excited that you took time out of your day to be with me today, to actually come and hang out with me.
Thank you for reminding me.
No, I'm super excited because this is what it's about. Like I tell people, I have met amazing brothers and sisters I would have never ever met in my entire life if it wasn't for this show. I would have never met you, Jamie. I would have never met who you were, what you're doing, and how you're advocating, how you're telling people, no, you have to do this. No. You have to understand this. We have to fight to ensure it becomes federally legal. So I gotta tell people it's a plant. Tell me why a plant. That's like saying roses are federally illegal. You can't buy roses. Why?
Right.
It's a rose.
You can't plant spinach.
You can't plant, and it's things like that, Jamie. So you're doing a ton of research and you're doing a ton of things, right? You're doing a ton of things in our community and stuff. And what you've been doing, I mean, is tremendous how you talk about writing your book. So tell us a little bit about your book.
Oh, it's so exciting. So I started in 2017 my path down the cannabis. CBD hadn't even been legal, right? Still taboo, still prohibition. I did 2 years worth of fighting the website links, the e-commerce, doing another website from this place and doing that. And I have a son that I had to advocate for in the public school system. Right. I had to choose, do I continue go obstacle? Now I'm not a quitter, right? But how much? I don't work for the IRS. I don't work for you fuckers. I work for myself, and you are making this difficult for me to get my message out while taking care of my son. So I had to make a decision. So I had to take all my products out. You know, I don't sell products. So the book, while it was lasted for a couple months, we were able to get it up. And now that things have calmed down, put the link back up. And basically, I just told my story about my son. I went through our journey, what we went through and why I did this. I described the endocannabinoid system. I described terpenes. I described patches, different methods to ingest.
Oh, you got patches there. Look at you. Tell us about those patches. A lot of people don't understand patches.
Okay, so excellent. So these are transdermal patches, and we need to remember that the skin is our biggest organ. And the reason why I chose these areas, because this is where my veins are. So the CBD and terpenes, 100% terpenes. There's humulene, which I was telling you about, limonene, and a few others in here. And I use these for my migraines, my nausea, vertigo, vomiting, things like that. And I take 200 milligrams daily, in addition to my hemp oil, in addition to my CBD, to maintain homeostasis. And I put these on 2 a day. I keep them on for 24 hours, and they decreased the intensity and the amount. And I still have them. I'm still figuring it out because I am a woman in my 40s with hormones. So I'm figuring out more, but these help me tremendously right on my veins. And if you're if you work with water, put them on your temples or your feet or your ankle veins or on top of your foot, that big toe vein there. Those are the types of things in my book. I give extra suggestions and I explain things to you. And so I put, for a very new beginner who doesn't know anything about it.
Right. No,
and I have a free article.
That's the biggest thing is
Yeah.
educating people, man. What you're doing is outstanding, Jamie. What you're
Thank
doing
you.
is helping educate people and help advocate and help showing people. Let me show you how to use this. Let me show you why I do this. Let me show you how this can help. Let me show you how life can get easier for you if you use this stuff and how you advocate for this stuff, you know? It's just the crazy things that you're able to do with what you're doing, Jamie. That's awesome that you've actually written a book in regards to the medicinal benefits, right? Discussing the medicinal benefits of cannabis and CBD. And like you said, you've got the stickers, you know what I'm saying? Here at Rafa 180, we have stickers similar to that as well that help with strength, that help with stamina, that helps with the weight loss, that helps. Like, people don't understand this. Like I tell people, when you use a balm, it's great, right? When you use a CBD balm on your sore joints and stuff like that, it's great, right? But the only thing is you're healing it topically. You still have to take CBD, because when you take CBD and you use the CBD balms and lotions, now you're attacking it from both angles, internally and externally. So now you're treating the inflammation that you're dealing with, right? Like you said, you put those on, right? You put those on, and then you take your CBD regularly, right? Because you're treating it from both angles, internally and externally, right?
These do go internally. That's why I put them on the veins. They're absorbing it. My skin is absorbing these, and I do want to keep supplementing because, like you said, now I'm going to take it this way and it's going to stay in my system this way too, because I need supplementation.
Right. That's awesome, Jamie. That's awesome. All right, Jamie, we're getting close to the end of the show. Why don't you tell people how they can find you, how they can link up with you and everything like that?
Okay, great. If there's anybody out there, cystic fibrosis is a rare disease. I understand that. But if you're listening to this, or you know anyone who's mentioned cystic fibrosis, CBD for cystic fibrosis, look for it. It's the only page in Facebook that has CBD for cystic fibrosis. I own that search term. So, awesome. And then the HEMPURALIST, you can look up the HEMPURALIST, or you can look up Jaime Scott, Jaime Scott. Reach out to me any way you want to. And I got Facebook pages. You can reach out to me that way, and I'll guide you anywhere you need to go and whatever questions you have.
Absolutely. That's freaking awesome. And you guys already know, down below in that description box down there, I'm going to have all her contact information, how you can reach her, how you can find her books, and how to reach out to her on Facebook and every other way that she wants you to reach out to her, man. Jamie, I do appreciate you. I do appreciate you coming out, hanging out with me on this Friday, being able to share your story with people, because a lot of people don't know, and that's our job as advocates, right? To help educate people.
Yes!
To help people find each other. Right? No, absolutely. I'm super excited to have you here with me. Like I said, come over to Stone Vet. You're part of the family now. Like I said, I need more advocates doing what you're doing, you know? And so I appreciate you hanging out with me, man. Remember, guys, you're not alone. It's like I tell you guys, you are needed in this world. You're not alone. I need you. Everybody around you needs you, because there's only you. There's nobody else around here that can do what you're doing. Remember, guys, here at the Stone Vet, we got your six.
We ain't training, nothing changed by complaining. I adapt and overcome. I make the best out of situations. I stay alert for my enemies trying to do me some harm. I fight for your freedom of speech and your right to bear arms. When I say I got your six, that means I got your back. But what else would you expect coming from the Stone Vet?